Hey friends, in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to use N8N and Airtable to help content creators repurpose their video for their social media, post, newsletter, and anything else. This is a service that most ghostwriters charge 2 to 10K, and we are going to do it all today inside N8N. So if you're searching for the best AI automation to get started, this is the one. Let me show you how it works before we build it step by step. So here is my Airtable, and here I introduce a video URL. Okay, this is one of my other videos about finding video outliers. By default, you will output a summary and tutorial, but we can have all these other. And then I run my workflow. And boom, the generated content appears back in Airtable, ready to use. It's simple, automated, and scalable. I'm also building a front-end app that connects to this exact workflow. And we're creating it together inside my private Skool community. Inside the community, we're building full-stack applications like this, front-end plus back-end, and we've brought in sales coaches to help you turn what you build into income. So whether you want to productize it, offer it as a service, or sell custom builds to clients, we're building and selling it together. You can find the link below to subscribe. See you inside. Here's what we'll cover step by step. So first, we need to structure Airtable to receive the YouTube URL as input and to select the content that we want to produce. Then we pass to N8N and we use the YouTube URL to make an API request to an Apify actor. From there, we extract the transcript from the video and we filter the transcript as needed depending on what we have selected in Airtable. Then we pass this to an LLM node and we generate all the content from there. And then we map everything in N8N and we send it back to Airtable. First, let's see how our Airtable is structured. So here we have an input for the title and the URL. And here the status by default is selected. But once the video is processed, we have processed, so we are not going to treat a video 2 times. And we have also a delete option. For example, if we have a list of videos and we want to delete some, we choose delete. Then we choose our output. So by default, we have only summary and tutorial because perhaps we just want to have a summary and to know more about this video without watching it. And then we can select all these pieces of content. Then this outlier field, it's because you can use this same table to work with this video, how to find viral topics for YouTube. And in this case, you enter the keywords and search by keywords, output the videos here, and then you can process the video with this workflow. Then we have the summary, the tutorial, the key takeaways, the blog post, the LinkedIn, the newsletter, Twitter, YouTube titles, YouTube hook, steps, YouTube conclusion, well, everything. And if you want more things, you can also add them and add them in the workflow, of course. And now let's dive into our workflow. And by the way, you can download it completely for free in the link below. It can seem impressive, but don't worry, we are going to see that step by step, and you will see it's really not complicated. So we begin with a manual trigger, and then we have this Airtable node, and we choose our base, our table, and it outputs everything. So the URL, the status, so here selected, and the output that we have chosen that we want. Then we have a switch node because we want only to treat the videos that are selected. And so here we have this other Airtable node. And so if it's delete, we delete the video here. Then if our video is selected, we have an edit field to extract what we want. We want the URL and the desired output. From there, we have here a code node because we're going to use Apify, and Apify require a certain structure for the URLs. So let's go into Apify now. So here we are in Apify, and this is the one that we're searching, the YouTube scraper. And in this YouTube scraper, so if we go here to JSON, we can see the structure of the body that we want. And we see that the start URL, so we can send an array of URLs, needs to have the URL and also the method get in the object. Very important, we need the download subtitle to be true. Okay, so this is what we need in the body. Then we need the endpoint API. So we go here to API endpoints, and the one we need is this one, run actor synchronously and get dataset items. And we copy this. So here we're back in our workflow, and we have this transform URL as we've seen before, because we need to return this start URL array with the URL and the method get. Then we pass that to an HTTP request node. And here we have the URL endpoint that we copy from Apify, but I'm using a credential. So instead of putting the credential, the API key in the URL, I have created a credential with query auth to be able to reuse it. And if you know my channel, you know that I use a lot Apify. Then we want to send the body, and here we pass the body that we have copied from Apify, and we pass our start URLs here, okay? Then we have this result, so we have the title, a lot of information about the video, and the part that we are interested in is the subtitle SRT. But as you can see, we have all the time, so we want to clean up that. So for that, we have another LLM chain here, and I say to remove the timestamp, and so I pass the JSON subtitles SRT from here, okay, and I also want to return the title and the URL because we are going to use the URL as reference, and we want the title to be sent back to Airtable. Then from there, we extract the fields that we want. So we want the title, the text, and the URL. And we do that because they are not at the first level. And we are going to use a merge node, and we are going to see why we need that at the first level. Otherwise, the merge node will not work correctly. So in the upper branch, we pass our URL and our output that we want to filter the content that we want to process. And here we have this merge node, and we choose to combine by matching field. And the matching field is the URL. So here we have the input one, the URL, and we have the edit field, which is the input two. And so if I didn't use this edit field, and these are not at the first level, it will not work. That's what we use this set node. So here's the output. We have our title, we have our transcript, which is clean now, and we have our URL and our output. From there, we have, for each type of content, we use a filter. So in each filter, if the JSON output contains tutorial here, then we are going to process the tutorial. Okay, so the JSON output is here, and here we have everything. But for example, if we don't have the blog post, then it will not be processed. Okay, it will be discarded. And we do the same for all the filter for YouTube output. Okay, here we have YouTube, etc. for each piece of content that we want. And then we connect this to LLM chain here. So here I'm using as model, I'm using OpenRouter with GPT-4.1 Nano because it's fast and it's not expensive and it gives quite good quality. You can experiment with GPT-4.1 if you want really things well written, or GPT Mini, but it would be slower and more expensive. And here too, in the remove timestamp, I'm using GPT-4.1 Nano. Okay, so in each of these LLM chains, each time I have a prompt. So you will be able to read the prompt if you download the template. And for each node, of course, we have a different prompt. So for example, see, here's a YouTube script. I wanted several things. So here I require a specific output, and I ask it also in the prompt, and I attached a structured output parser to define what I want as output. Okay. And so we do that for all our piece of content. Here in the summary also, I'm extracting several things. The level, if it's intermediate, advanced, or beginner, the topic, the summary, and the key takeaways. You can adapt this as you want. You can create more piece of content. We can change the prompt and do whatever you want to produce the content you need or that your clients need. And then here I have a code node because I tried with the merge node and it was more complicated. So sometimes the flow node, the merge, or other ones, when it becomes complex, sometimes it's easier to use a code node. And if you don't know how to code, just ask Claude or ChatGPT to write the code for you, but explain it very well what you want in a very logic way. So here I have this code node, and it's going to match every item together. So in the output, we have the URL, the title, here's the tutorial, the YouTube items, the summary, post, the tweet, the newsletter, and the blog post. Okay, here there is only one URL, but we could have several. Okay, so here we get the URLs and titles. Here we have this save get all because when I don't choose to process all the pieces of content, we can have problems. ChatGPT or Claude wrote that for me. Don't worry, I'm a coder, but you can do it too. I generate my code also. And then we match all our items here. And then we have the last step. We have this Airtable node that maps everything to Airtable. So we match it by URL. We get the title, and we get all our piece of content. And then we have everything back in Airtable. And of course, in my community, we are going to build a front end, as you have seen a bit before. Now you've seen exactly how to automate content repurposing using N8N and Airtable, taking one YouTube video and turning it into an entire content system automatically. So if you want to go even deeper and build full stack applications like this, I'd love to invite you to my private Skool community. Inside, we're building real tools, front-end application, automation system, and monetizable services. And you'll get to learn, build, and ship with me directly. And if you're a business owner, content creator, or agency looking to build something custom like this for your clients or team, book a call with me below. Let's talk about how we can build it for you or teach you to build and sell it yourself. And lastly, if this video helped you out, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment if you have questions or ideas for future videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.